Hi everyone, Kevin Muldoon here. I'm back with my new Google Nexus 6P phone. What I'm going to do in this video is do a quick unboxing and quick review of this Spigen Rugged Armor case. Now I've got the black version to go with my graphite Google Nexus 6P. Now I've used Spigen before. The last phone I had was the HTC M8 and you can see here I had the Slim Armor Spigen case. Now this wasn't, in many ways this wasn't a good case because, well, I mean, what the biggest problem I had with this case was that it was too thick at the bottom and I couldn't charge it. So what I had to do was I always had to take it out the case and then charge it without the case on. And one time that did lead to me dropping the phone and it was like a tiny little scratch on the screen, which doesn't seem to be there anymore. But yeah, that was one problem with it. And recently the metal casing that goes around it is cracked and it's fell off. But despite this, in a year and a half of using this has been an amazing case. It's really good to hold. It's been solid and it's saved the phone from smashing so many times. You know, it's been a great purchase. So Spigen was the first thing I was kind of looking at when I was looking for a case. I'm a big fan of the YouTuber Flossy Carter, and he did a review of the Neris. There was a Neris case that he reviewed and I was going to go for that one. But then I read there was a thread on Reddit about cases, and in fact I think it was on XD Developers, and someone was saying that the Neris case, whilst it looks great, you know, there's problems with connecting it down the bottom of the USB. It's not cut correctly. So that kind of leaned me more towards the Spigen case again. So what I'm going to do is just quickly do an unboxing and then I'll show you what the case is like and give you my impressions of it. So it's quite minimal packaging. You can see there's not really much on it, not really much to it here. So that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Nothing else there. You can see that there on the camera. So it actually looks a little bit like the inside of my previous case without the metal casing going around it. We've got the classic silica gel and just a little authentication sticker with a serial number and whatnot. So here you can see here, it's kind of like a Spider-Man design almost on the inside. It's the same. If I show you the case that I had previously, it's almost identical. You can see from the previous one, it's the same, exactly the same design on the inside. The only difference is, in my last case, the back was very plain because it was set up for this casing, but that's not the case with this one. If you look at the other side here, it looks better with the lights off here. No, I'll be with the light on. It's got a really good cutout for the camera and notifications for the fingerprint. I think, in fact, that's not notification. I think that's a microphone at the back, and it's got a little grill here at the bottom, and it says Spigen along the way. Now, there's a few things I'll need to test with this. The two main ones will be how it feels and all that, but I think the most important one is whether the fingerprint sensor works well and whether, you know, the USB cable gets in and out. I think the USB cable will be fine. If you look compared to the old one, it was quite tight, but this one it seems a little bit wider, so it should be okay. So quickly I'll just show you that. Here's my phone, my finger, and it's unloading, so it's unlocking. So you can see there, unlocking perfectly. There's no problem with the fingerprint sensor, so I'll get that into the case. Fits in very, very easily, and wow, this feels fantastic. This feels really good. I read a few reviews saying that it was perhaps a little bit slippier than they would have hoped, and I guess I can understand that. You know, it does feel like this actual material here is really smooth, really super smooth. So I can understand if you're holding it, maybe it's a little bit slippy, but it's certainly grippier than just using the phone naked. So first thing I'll text is I've got the official cable here, and yeah, that's charging. There's absolutely no problem with the connection cable, so that's perfect. And now I suppose arguably a more important thing is the fingerprint sensor. Perfect. There's going to be no problems at all with the fingerprint sensor. The hole for the fingerprint sensor is actually quite wide. You know, it's perfect. It fits the phone perfectly, and I've got some earphones here. The cutout for the earphone at the top, I don't think anyone will have problems with that either. You know, it's at the top. There's no problem with that whatsoever. So obviously, you know, you really need to use a case for a couple of days at least to get used to what it's like. But I think this is going to be a fantastic case. The only thing that could be a problem for me, and it's not a problem with the case, is the fact I've ordered tempered glass. I've ordered a tempered glass protector. So I'll do a quick video of that in my next one, and what I'd like to do is just see whether that tempered glass protector fits in well with this screen, because I'm not sure if this is raised up high enough to put the protector on or not. But that is certainly not a criticism of the case if it doesn't. On its own, this is a fantastic case. It really is. I really like this. I'm very, very happy with this, and it looks fantastic. I picked up the case for £8.99 in the UK. It's even cheaper in America, so it looks like a very good option. And you can see the power buttons, very responsive. The volume up and down, very easy. I mean, this is the kind of phone you're not really going to reach up there to get the buttons anyway. So Google have smartly put the power and the volume rockers along the side. So yeah, fantastic. So if you're looking for a case, I think you would really be pleased with this. This is the Spigen Nexus 6P Rugged Armor, and you know, I'm actually touching that, just picking it up. I'm unlocking it there. That's how well it works. When you place it down, you're obviously going to protect the screen from the surface because of the raised lip. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's the Nexus 6P Rugged Armor. I'll put some links below in the description area, and as always, if you get any questions, please do leave a question below, and I'll do my best to answer it or point you in the right direction. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider liking or subscribing too, and I'll try and do some more videos about the Nexus 6P once I've started using it and I've got a better understanding of how it works. Speak to you all soon, guys. Thanks.